And after that happened, we went down to pick up our sea bags to make sure that they got to Olbia, the main city, which is on the other side of Palau, which is about a 45-minute drive. Everything's like from Osceola to Jonesboro in distance around here, or within walking distance. I mean, I'm halfway between two cities right now, right next to, I think, the radio tower for the local Italian station. We found that our sea bags had already been sent on. We were on our way out to find a place to eat because we were hungry at this point, although, you know, they served us breakfast and dinner. It wasn't really worth eating. It had a kind of a waxy taste to it. We get out there and we lose Chris, or Kevin. Yeah, it's Kevin. We lose Kevin. Don't know where he's at. Have no idea. So Clay and I are running around. We're completely lost, and we don't speak any Italian. From what we could tell, nobody could speak any English. This girl came up from behind us, and in the most North Carolinian accent I've ever heard, says, "Are y'all lost?" I say, "Yes, we are." We turn around, and there's this blue-eyed blonde young lady standing there with a whole bunch of luggage of her own, and she hooked up with us. She was a missionary going to school in North Carolina. She lives in Naples. Her dad is stationed there, military, Army base or Navy base or whatever. He's not in the Navy. He's either Army or Air Force, one of the two. So she hooked up with us, got us fed, and the bars there are, like I said, interesting, but I'll get all of that later. Helped us find our terminal. We were stuck in Leonardo Airport for 12 hours. She was stuck there for 4, waiting to go on. And we walked all over the airport. You couldn't sit any place very long, or the guards came up with the Uzis and said, you know, please, senor, move along. So we did that. Finally, she got on her plane and headed out. Her name was Heather. 3 of us, after 4 hours of being near strangers in the Italian airport, got to be pretty good friends. After she left, we hooked up with some guys who were headed to the Orion and stayed with them the rest of the time there, and found out a little bit more about the ship, a little bit more about Palau, the mod here. The sun is starting to come out, which is good because it looked like it was going to rain. I really didn't want to walk all the way back in the rain. Rode an Italian airplane. Those people, they fly like they drive. That was kind of scary. And we got there. We're flying along, and the guy, he goes up there at the runway, and all of a sudden he could just up. That you probably won't like, but there's no way around it now. And we're flying around there. You know, when we landed coming into Leonardo, the guy took 20 minutes circling and landing. I mean, it was a very slow process. The only time anything got scary was the discharge of fuel from the engine. You know, you could actually see flames shoot out. And I understand that was on purpose because none of the waitresses or not stewardesses seemed to be worried about it. Coming into Olbia, though, I mean, the guy, he's flying along, and all of a sudden he just like dropped down and dropped down and dropped down, and then we landed. It was a rough ride. Of course, it was also about midnight. And when we get there, we find out that the people at the Orion didn't even expect us. The duty driver, he meant to only have 1 passenger, and here he's got 5. So he took us all from Olbia Airport into Palau, where we caught the ferry, which took us over to the Orion. And we got there, and Shore Patrol had to find us a place to stay because nobody from Port Services, which is the water taxi that goes back and forth from Palau to Lamad to the site, which is what we call it, the site. The Shore Patrol had no idea where Port Services stayed, and since we weren't going to be on the boat or the ship, they knew that we weren't going to be there. So we missed the duty driver missed the first ferry out. So we had to wait a half hour for the second ferry. He was going to take us to a bar and get us a sandwich. The bars closed in our face. They wouldn't even open up to get extra business. So we had to hang around in very cold weather that night. The wind was blowing. To get to wait for the ferry. And when the ferry got there, we got there, Shore Patrol took us and stuck us in, I want to say clandestine hall, but that's not the name of it. The barracks we're living in now, which is like in a small apartment for 3 people. Sink, shower, 3 beds, 3 lockers, 3 dressers. It's pretty nice. We didn't do anything for 2 days, and then finally we started this I division. We were attached to I division. And I division basically means we sat there every day from 8 o'clock in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon, listening to people give us briefs on what to do, what not to do, this, that, and the other thing. It got pretty boring, and it was like 3 days later before anybody bothered to tell us where to turn our orders, and nobody, we'd say, oh, here's our orders. They go, oh, we'll get to that in a little bit, we'll get to that later. And we're like, look, you guys got to take our orders, or we're not going to get paid. Damn it, we weren't paid. It's Friday now. The weekend's up. We still don't belong to anybody except Port Services. Like I said, I'm trying to sneak my way into JO, get attached to that. If that happens, hopefully I'll still be able to live. Well, hopefully I'll be living in Lamad. Lamad is a pretty nice place. Restaurants. Work at this backwards. I'm still getting to the bars. Restaurants. Our first night here, or not first night, we got here, we went to bed, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, Saturday. Where was I? Restaurants. I remember that, but I forgot what I was going to say. It's been a long climb. I was drinking all night last night. And I'm tired, and I've got to go to the bathroom. So I'll wait till I get back down into town to do that. The restaurants here, we've tried 2 or 3 things. Fettuccine is good. I haven't tried the lasagna. They say the pizza definitely is not American. And if you were to order Domino's, it would take 3 days to get here. So we 3-day guarantee or less, they don't have. Calamari, which is fried squid. It's pretty good. I've eaten a lot of that. We've tried 4 or 5 restaurants around the area, and all of them have excellent food. Like I say, I'm getting fat. The bars here aren't like normal bars. You buy alcohol there, but you also get ice cream and sandwiches, and if you want to sit down, you got to pay for it, unless you sit down outside. But if you order a sandwich and they bring it to you, you got to pay extra. And I'm going to shut this off, go downtown and find a bathroom, probably head back to the ship, come back out. Well, it'll pick up when it picks up. I hope I'm in focus. And I'll probably just head back to the ship. But I got to talk to y'all. I am doing okay.